Welcome back to The Blunt Side, the podcast where we talk about anything and everything without a filter. I'm your host, Sydney. Guys, it has been not over a year. I think the last episode I posted was in March. I don't even remember what I was talking about, to be honest, but yeah, it's been a while. I started posting car videos this year, but for the rest of the year, last year, I did not post. And it was my goal. Like, a lot of people subscribed to me last year and were following my journey and starting to, comment on my podcasts. And I was having such a good momentum. And then I kind of fell off of everything. And recently, I had somebody comment on a video that I made a year ago talking about going through, a quarter life crisis and talking about how I was trying to be single and how I struggle with making friends. I just kind of talked about everything. And somebody commented on it recently and they were like, wow, I'm watching this a year later and I'm wondering did you ever end up making friends? And I said, nope, still working on that. So that's kind of what we're talking about in today's episode, because this is something I've struggled with for a long time, and I just want to talk about the struggles of being a girl in your 20s and making friends. I think that I'm not the only one, and I feel like it's really common, especially when you are a little bit different or have gone through a lot of challenges in life. It is really hard, and it was something that I was thinking about the other day. On the full moon, I was driving home from work and I just started crying. I was crying about so many things, but I started crying about just how I don't feel like I have any sense of community. And partly that is my fault because I do isolate. Really, if I wanted to, I have people that I could reach out to, but for a number of reasons I don't, just because I tend to isolate and avoid, and I just feel like I'm somebody that has gone through so many things that I don't even know how to be around people anymore. But I was still crying that I don't have girlfriends, because I do have friends that I've made online, and they live far away, or they're older than me, or they're guys. I don't have anybody my age that is a girl that I'm friends with. And I was just crying about that because I don't know, it's just it's so hard when you're in your 20s, because I feel girls are, I don't know why I feel this way. Honestly, okay, going back to high school, I had a group of girlfriends that I ended up having a huge traumatic fallout with. I don't know if I want to go too much into detail with it, but basically it was the popular group in high school, and I ended up getting cheated on by my boyfriend, and then my best friend of 3 years just said that he said I said a bunch of stuff about her, and then she didn't want to be friends with me anymore. So then I lost my boyfriend and my best friend in the span of a week. And I just had a huge falling out with these people. I'll probably talk about it more in depth in another video. But ever since then, I literally did not get close to anybody ever again. And it wasn't really I think it was that one girl, the best friend that I had a falling out with, because me and her were literally this. We were attached at the hip. We were sisters. And so ever since that, it's yeah, I can make friends and acquaintances, but I've never ever gotten close enough with somebody again where I would call them my best friend, or where I would have sleepovers. I can't. I don't know, it's just I shut that part of my life off, and it's sad because I was in high school. That happened when I was 15. It sounds so stupid that I'm still traumatized by it, but at the same time, if you've never dealt with something, it makes sense that you would still be traumatized by it. So yeah, that happened when I was 15 years old, and now I'm 23. So 8 years ago, I still haven't really fixed that wound within me. And so I think that's why I have a struggle making friends, because I just don't want that to happen again. And another reason too is I feel I was constantly going through things, and especially when my brother passed away, I find it really hard to relate to normal people. Like, I find it hard to relate to people, and I would like to be friends with somebody that, like, I don't know, that kind of like emulates my life in some way. I'm not really the type of person where I'll just hang out with anybody just for the sake of like being around people. If I don't feel comfortable around somebody, like I don't feel like they understand me, like I don't want to be friends with them. And it's like that's the thing, is like I have people that I could like reach out to more. And it's not that I don't get along with them, but I'm just looking for people that are literally like my twins, like my twins. And I know that that's like probably me just finding another reason to be closed off and or like be judgmental. And it's like it's not that I'm trying to be judgmental of people. It's more of just like I'm looking for friends that like have the same type of lifestyle as me. And there are people that I have friendship with, but I don't really see myself like hanging out with them just because I don't know, I just feel like my life is going in a different direction. Like I'm really focused on like health and my spirituality right now, and I'm just looking for people that are also into that. And so it's kind of like I don't really want to, I don't know, I just feel like that sounds mean, but at the same time, like I don't really see a point in, I just like my space, I like my alone time. And so the idea of like making plans with somebody that I know that like deep down we don't really have the same like hobbies or interests or values, it's like, yeah, I can get along with them and we have things in common and I like being around them, but it's not enough. And I don't know why for me like relationships have to be all in or all out. I think that's like the BPD symptoms that I still have, because with like dating relationships I do the same thing. Like when I start dating somebody, I'm like all in, we're in love, I'm obsessed, I want to do everything together. And then it kind of goes wrong because I start realizing later on like the flaws in people and like how we're just not a match. And so I feel like I'm like that with friendships too, where like if somebody to me doesn't seem like they're right for me, like it's like I can't go all in, and so my mind wants to go all in. Does that make sense? Like I hope I'm making sense right now. But basically, like, I was crying the other day because I was like, okay, I don't have, like, anybody in my life. Like, other than, like, my sister and, like, people that, like, I know are there, but I haven't reached out to. Like, I don't talk to anybody. I go to work, I talk to the people I work with, and then I come home. Like, I don't have a community, and it's really unhealthy. Like, it's so unhealthy. I know that. It's so important to have a community and to have, like, different types of people, because if you only have, like, a few, like let's say you only have like the person that you're dating, which usually like when I get into a relationship I start to emotionally depend on them, and I think that's why a lot of my relationships fail, is because I'm seeing the person I'm dating as every single person, my therapist, my friend, my boyfriend, everything, right? You're supposed to have different types of people for different things, and like I will only focus on one person and then try to like use them as all of these different types of relationships, and it's not healthy. Like you need to have like a friend, you need to have a mom relationship, you need to have a dad and I don't have any of those. Like I don't have a great relationship with my mom, I don't have a great relationship with my dad. Me and my sister are the closest relationship I have in my life, but like we don't connect as much as we could, and so it's kind of just like I end up getting into these relationships for emotional fulfillment, and then they don't work out, and then my life kind of falls apart because like I've been putting all of my dependency on one person, which isn't sustainable. Another reason I feel like it's harder to make friends is because I feel like a lot of people my age, like I'm 23, I feel like a lot of people my age, they like to like, every fucking time I try to film there's something going on upstairs, it drives me crazy. I feel like a lot of people my age, they like to go out, drink, do all this stuff, and like that's fine. I'm not shaming, I'm not judging anybody, but I'm just not doing that anymore. I've come to a point where like I actually don't want to anymore. I want to live a sober life. I want to like become my best self. And it's not that you can't become your best self, but it's more of just like I'm on this really specific journey, okay? Like I went through losing my brother. It changed me as a person. I don't want to do the same things I used to do. I want to really focus on my health, my mental wellness, my spirituality. Like let me paint you a picture of who I'm looking for. I'm looking for friends that like want to do like full moon circles and like journal together and like go to yoga and paints. Like I don't know, I want to do like wholesome slow activities where we're like going out in nature and connecting on a deep level. Like I don't want to like go out to bars and like I don't know, I don't want to do any of that. And so I know that there's obviously people out there that like doing that, And so it's like I need to do that stuff more to like find these people, but it's like I get so busy with work, and then it's like, when do you have the time? And then when you want to go do those things on the weekend, you're like, I don't want to go by myself. But it's like, if you never go by yourself, you're never going to meet these people. Because it's like, I know that not everybody is like that party culture, but it is majority of people, and it's hard when you're somebody that like doesn't want to do that anymore. Like, it's hard to find people that you relate to. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, I want somebody that also understands grief, also understands like the spiritual journey, and like I don't know, does that make sense? And so I feel like for a while it was hard for me because I already had like all these traumas that made me like shut out people and just like be really scared to make relationships. And now on top of that, I feel like I'm on like a really specific path that I don't want to go off of. Like, I know I find it so like stupid, but like I'm not willing to like change my lifestyle. And if you're watching this, you're probably like, well, no wonder you can't make friends. You're like super closed minded and like stubborn with like what you want to do. And I'm like, yeah, I am. And that's why like I'm willing to rock by myself until I find people that are, because I know I'm like, that's the thing, I'm not willing to change who I am. I see people that are super into like these really specific niche subjects that have these group of friends. Not many people are into that, but they didn't change it and they made friends. I feel like what I'm interested in isn't that super niche, so I'm not willing to change it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not willing to like change my values or like the things I want to do just to make friends. I would rather like, I've already been spending time alone, and so I think right now what I'm gonna do is just like really try to heal my like past traumas with friendship, because I don't want somebody to come along that like I actually like vibe with and relate to, and then I fucking ruin it because I have all these like traumas from having friends in high school that did me dirty. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't want to be self-sabotaging, and I already feel like I just have things that I need to heal. But yeah, it kind of just hit me the other day, and I was just like, damn, like, you really don't have anybody to talk to. Like, other than going to work and going home, like, you don't talk to anybody. Like, this isn't healthy. And that's the reason I cried, because I realized like how unhealthy it is. And I was starting to like shame myself, because I was like, this isn't normal. But then I was also like, okay, can you calm down? Like, you went through a really hard thing. Like, it's completely normal to isolate after grief. It's completely fucking normal. And I was just like, you went through a hard thing. You don't relate to most people anymore. You've had a lot of trauma. Like, give yourself a fucking break. Because I was just like, oh my god, you're 23 years old. Like, you're gonna hit all these milestones and never have anybody you can invite. It's like, I do have people like I can invite, obviously. Like, I have people that care about me, okay? I just don't have people that live near me right now that are also on my same vibe. Like, I have people, but they either live far away, or they're too old, or like, you know what I mean? And so it's kind of just like, I was like really shaming myself because I was thinking all these thoughts like, are you ever gonna have like a group of friends? But then I was like, you know what? I'm not thinking these negative thoughts anymore, because I know I will. I know I will have a group of girls that are on my same vibe. I just need to continue being myself and putting myself out there, which I don't do. Like, I keep molding myself to fit in relationships with guys that like don't like me, and you know what I mean? It's like, I need to start being more confident just putting myself out there. But it's hard. It's hard because guess what? I have social anxiety. And especially when you have friend trauma, it's like, I have no problem talking to a guy, but like literally talking to a girl, like I literally freeze up, because I'm just like, I haven't even been around people my age. Like, I don't go out. I'm not around people. I feel like I'm a hermit that has been shut in for so long. But then it's like, I also like it that way. Or I feel like a feral dog, like a feral animal, like that hasn't been around like people, and then when they go around them, they're like super, like they growl and they like bite. Like, that's how I feel. I literally feel like a feral animal that doesn't know what it's like to have like social interaction. And so it's like, there's no way out of this other than to force myself. But like, the very act of like forcing myself will literally send me into an anxiety attack. And that's the thing, I'm not like this like freak that can't socialize at all. Like, when I'm at work, like I'm perfectly fine with socializing. I realize that like most of this is in my head, but it's when my mental starts to be like, oh, you should try to be friends with this person, I literally freeze up. I literally start thinking, oh, she's probably like a mean girl, or oh, she's gonna think I'm weird, or oh, she's gonna see how weird I am. Because I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I don't like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like I can socialize perfectly fine, but when it comes to people my age, it's like I don't know. I start to feel like I'm a weirdo. Like they're gonna think I'm so weird. Like I don't. I just like I can't. And I go back to feeling in high school when you feel like left out by people and you feel like everybody's judging you. Like that's how I start to feel. And it's like, okay, I cannot be the only one that feels this way. I've heard from other people, like seeing online, that it's hard to make friends in your 20s. I don't know. You literally, like, I don't have, like, an answer. Like, when that girl commented on my video and she was like, well, did you end up, like, making friends? Like, and I was like, no. And I felt bad because it's like, it's not like she was asking for advice, but it's like, I feel like I'm good at giving advice, but there's certain things that it's like, I haven't learned that yet. I haven't learned certain lessons. I haven't gotten over certain things. It's like I can't sit here and if you have no friends either to be like, oh, here's what I did to make friends. Like I just don't have any, and I'm more making this video to like give you something to relate to if you also feel like just like a loser. Like I feel like a loser all the time. I literally feel like such a loser because I'm like, wow, I don't have any friends. And it makes you like sad, but then you're like, oh wait, like, you know what? One day I will, because I'm not meant to be alone forever. Nobody is. I understand that. And I know that once I get over my own fears and get out of my head and actually start doing things I love more and pushing myself out and just being like, you know what? Like, if somebody's an asshole to me, like, that's on them. That doesn't mean I'm weird. Then I will eventually attract people. I understand that. And especially when I'm getting into manifesting, like, I know that I'm going to have people. I know that I'm not deeply flawed and that there's not something wrong with me, because a lot of the times I feel that too. I'm like, okay, well, maybe there is something just wrong with me. Like maybe, and I know that I obviously have flaws. Like I'm not saying I'm not flawed. I know what's wrong with me. What's wrong with me is that I constantly isolate and I don't reach out to people, or I like leave them on red forever. Like I know that those are my problems, but I'm saying like, there's not anything deeply wrong with me that like I can't make friends. I know that I'm a good person. I know that I'm funny, that I'm caring. Like I know all these things. So it's not that there's something wrong with me. It's just I'm self-sabotaging, getting in my own way, and that also it's rare to find people that are in the interest that I'm in. So I just have to go looking for them more, because I feel like if you never like if you're constantly surrounded by the types of environments that you don't want to be in, like obviously you're going to feel like there's nothing out there. Like it's the same thing like if you're starting a new project, like let's say you're making a certain type of art and all the people around you don't care about it. That doesn't mean that your art's bad. It's just like you're not around the people that care about your art. Like, or example, like I just talked about this in my last video, but I was posting on my Instagram stories the same type of content that I am here, and I'm like, why does nobody care about what I'm saying? So I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go to YouTube. So I went to YouTube and I started posting these car videos, the same things that I was posting on Instagram, and I'm starting to get all these people commenting like, oh my god, like I relate to this, or thank you for so you know what I mean? It's like, just because there's nothing wrong with you, there's nothing wrong with what you're doing, there's nothing wrong with what you're trying to put out, you're just in the wrong environment. There is literally a group for everything. Like go online and search the craziest shit, there will be a group for it. There's a group for a bunch of people that have the same weirdo kinks. There's a groups for everything, you know what I mean? So it's like I know that I have people out there, I just haven't put myself out there to find it, and it's fucking terrifying. Like if you're in the same boat as me, literally like challenge yourself to do something out of your comfort zone in terms of making friends. That's what I need to do, because I can't live like this forever. It's not healthy. It's not healthy to not have community. You need community. You need other people that are validating you and like supporting you and understanding you and that you can talk to, because it's like I can't always just talk to YouTube or write in my journal. Like I need human connection. Everybody does, to be like mentally stable and happy. Anyways, I think that's all for today. I will probably go back into this topic more, like my past traumas and things, like story time type vibes, in another video, but I just wanted something to bring back this podcast. I definitely missed filming it. I loved this podcast, and I liked that people really started resonating with my voice and what I was saying. And then I just dropped off the face of the earth. So I'm back and I'm fully committed this year, like I promise, because the way I've been posting every day on YouTube, like I can't stop now. I actually like crave doing it and I love doing it. But yes, this was episode 9, I believe, of The Blunt Side, the podcast where we talk about anything and everything without a filter. My name is Sydney, and if you like my vibe, make sure you subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!